Hello and welcome to episode 11 of Throwing Your Parents Under the Bus podcast. Today's topic focuses on the gas and brake pedals. Now, I'm Jane Johnson, and with me today, you'll find our usual suspects, veteran crash investigator and driver safety expert Mike Pehl, and our enrichment researcher and social media expert, Natasha. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing great.
I'm also doing well.
Wonderful. Well, just to let you know, over the past 14 years, our Drive Safe, Ride Safe team has accumulated thousands of observations from our driver ed students who have sent us stories, questions, and insights that they observed while experiencing real-life driving situations as part of our driver ed course. We recently realized that observations might also be helpful for other students in order to prepare them to drive on today's chaotic roads. So let's just go right now to Natasha, who calls through our enrichment observations to see what she has for us today. Natasha?
Yes. Well, first of all, I heard that in Florida recently, there was a mom who was teaching her daughter how to drive and mistook the gas for the brake and ended up driving straight into somebody's business. And that reminds me of the enrichment I have for you today, which is we had a student who told us that her parents talked about their initial driving experiences. And one thing they would accidentally do is push on the gas pedal for stopping instead of the brakes.
So Mike, as a instructor behind the wheel, have you ever had that happen to you?
Yes. I mean, actually, we try and teach the kids in the classroom, even without a gas pedal and a brake in front of us, not even in the car. You know, if everybody just put their heel on the floor right now and straight in front of you, you have that foot straight up, and that is actually on the brake. And then you just push on the brake. So we can use here's just a piece of cardboard. So we can just, foot right on the edge. You don't need the whole brake. Everybody thinks they got to take their foot off the gas and hit the brake. You don't need that. You just need the edge, half of your foot on that edge of the brake pedal. So if you just go push the brake, rope up, and then rotate to the gas. Brake, gas, brake, gas. Just do that with your foot. It's actually for a new driver, it's a good exercise to do because as they drive for 15, 20, 30 minutes, the first times out, they're using ankle muscles they've never used before. So they start saying, my foot's getting tired. And then they start moving their foot around. And of course, that's jerking the car and they're hitting brakes and gas and whatever. So you will never, ever have a student or adult that will mistake the brake and the gas when you teach that in the beginning. All right. I like to always say to my students in their first lesson, the gas is your enemy and the brake is your friend. Okay. Because the more we push on the gas, the faster the car goes. Right. And then in a panic situation, we floor that. Well, cars go 0 to 40, 50 miles an hour quite fast. So like Natasha says, the car that went through the building, I mean, that's only glass. I mean, as you brake, it was a 2,000-3,000 pound car hits glass or hits a stud wall of a building. If they don't have the cement pillars in front, you're going into the store. That is why I'm a smarter restaurant eater. I never sit in front of the window. Never. Because
for that reason?
For that reason, yes.
I never thought of that, but that's a good idea.
When you sit out,
don't have your back to it either.
Yes, outdoor seating. I never put my back towards the traffic. And if I'm going to sit where cars come into the parking lot, I want that cement pillar. That's in my range right there. So, I always say, get paranoid, get paranoid. If it's not going to get you, it will get you. So, but no, really. And then I got a personal story of mine where I actually had a parent call me up and said, My son is now 18 years old. I cannot get him behind the wheel. He's scared to death to drive because when he was 14, I took him into a big church parking lot and we were gonna just work on, driving around the parking lot. Well, first of all, it was illegal for her to do that because he's 14 and doesn't have a permit in Minnesota. You need to have an instruction permit to be legal in public streets or whatever. So, but the story is she got him in there and he happened to be 6 feet, 6 feet tall and a big, strong young man. And then she was a tiny mom. And he did exactly what we're talking about. She said, put your foot on the brake. And then she said, put the car in drive and now hit the gas. And he hit the gas and he floored it. And she was trying to get her foot around his leg to push on the brake because he was frozen to the gas pedal. And as they go over a cliff, the car rolls end over end and he breaks a leg. She gets brought up under careless and reckless child endangerment charges. Yeah, it turned into be not a good thing. So, but
Jeez.
the fact of the matter is, parents, if you ever get in trouble with a student, it is so easy to just reach over and put the car in neutral. No matter how fast they're frozen to the gas pedal, the car will still go in neutral. All right. And if you have time, you can shut the car off. You can't lock the steering, but it will shut off. And then the car won't go anymore. Now you're just going to coast it. Now you're coasting. So, but always remember that. If you have a new driver coming up or a driver you're afraid of, I know just before you even start going, just reach over and pop that thing into neutral, go 5 miles an hour and just try it. Because
That's a
it's
great
something
tip.
it's something you might need to do someday. And even in your gas pedal sticks while you're driving, you go to let up on the gas and it's still moving. It's stuck. Doesn't happen a lot, but does it happen? Yes. Flip that car in neutral, man. Then there's no drive to it anymore. So there you go.
Those are all good tips. The restaurant.
The restaurant.
I like that one. And
Even
foot.
when you're inside a restaurant, look at where cars pull up to the because now everybody out there is going to go into a restaurant and go, I don't want to sit there. I ain't sitting there.
I might keep it a secret.
There you go.
So, at least until I sit down.
When was the last time you were mauled by a car?
Right. I don't want that to happen for sure. Well, this is actually a good tip even for you, Natasha, with you practice driving with your son soon,
That's what I was thinking, going into neutral. Yeah.
Yes. And go to a parking lot and just, now you can, because he is 6 foot something. So
yeah, I know.
Just like that mom. So
exactly.
So you need some tips.
And those are all instructions in the beginning. Now, especially if and Natasha's son Justin, he's the oldest. So it's a new experience for mom and dad when your oldest son or daughter starts to drive. Because you guys, I can't go do your job. I don't know anything about your job, and you really don't know anything about my job either. But like I say, after 40,000 kids, you learn all the things you're going to need to know under every circumstance. Because you guys only have one. We get a lot of them all year long. So just great tips. Another great tip on that is if you have an emergency brake pedal on the left side, this won't work for you. But if you have the lever in the middle of the two seats, you can pull that up. Or even if you have the newer cars, they have an electronic button that you pull up in the center console.
Right.
So I'm always ready for that too. I know where that's at when I have a student, and again, I suggest that even if you have the electronic, see on the lever, you can actually just push that button in and use that to stop. It's it's just your rear brakes is all that is. But on the electronic, go 10 miles an hour and pop that baby once. I mean, it'll sound like analog brakes. It'll sound like the car's getting destroyed, but it's not. I mean, it's all computerized now, so it's actually pretty cool. So
Those are great tips, Mike. They really are. I will say when you're pulling up when you're using pulling up
the lever.
the lever thing, I thought of a stagecoach just for a minute.
Yeah,
I don't know
yes.
why.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? Because it's like,
Yeah.
that's how they stop, like the horses or something. Anyway, not that old, but I watched a lot of Bonanza as a kid.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, that's all we have for today, and we want to thank you for joining us, and we hope that you share our podcast with your friends and family. Please check out our website or subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also follow us on Facebook or email us with your story ideas on topics you'd like us to discuss. The links below are the social media platforms, so it makes it easy to find us. And until next time, remember to
Drive
I
safe.
say ride safe.
Well, not bad, not bad. You're getting better. We're gonna keep going. All right, have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.